Good afternoon. I, Sneha Padwe, Company Secretary of your company, welcome all the members and the dignitaries to the 29th Annual General Meeting being conducted through video conferencing or other audiovisual means called VC or OAVM facility. In view of the massive outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the necessity to maintain social distance, and also taking into consideration the safety of the members and the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA, the 29th Annual General Meeting, AGM, of the company is being conducted through VC-OAVM facility. The facility for joining this meeting through VC-OAVM is made available for the members on a first-come, first-served basis. If the members are facing any technical issue while joining, or if any support is required, you may contact the help desk of NSDL, whose details are provided in the notice of the 29th AGM of the company. I would like to confirm the presence of all the directors, Mr. Chandrasekhar Tyagarajan, Chief Financial Officer of the company, Mr. Shantanu Rudra, Head of Finance, Mr. Nilesh Mundra, Representative, BSR and Company, LLP Chartered Accountants, Statutory Auditor of the company, Ms. Snehal Kulkarni, Representative of Dr. K.R. Chandratre, Practicing Company Secretary, the Secretarial Auditor of the company. Since the requisite quorum is present as per Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013, the Annual General Meeting may be commenced. The e-voting facility is opened for members to cast their vote. I now request the Chairman to introduce the directors of the company who are visible on the screen and conduct the proceedings of this meeting. Thank you.
Of the company. I hope you're all safe. Now I'd like to introduce my colleagues on the board. Mr. Chandrakant Birla, Non-Executive Director.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Chandrakant Birla, attending this meeting from New Delhi.
Mr. Dharmender Kapoor, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dharmender Kapoor, attending the meeting from Noida.
Mr. Ashok Kumar Barat, Independent Director and Chairman of the Audit Committee.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ashok Kumar Barat, joining the AGM from my home in Mumbai.
Mr. Anant Talaulikar, Independent Director and Chairman of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Anant Talaulikar, Independent Director and Head of the NRC, and I'm attending this meeting from Mumbai. Thank you.
Ms. Alka Barucha, Independent Director and Chairman of the Stakeholder Relationship Committee.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Alka Barucha, attending this meeting from Mumbai.
Ms. Nandita Gurjar, Independent Director.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nandita Gurjar, Independent Director, joining in from Bangalore.
Thank you. I'd also like to inform you that Mr. Chandrasekhar Tyagarajan, Chief Financial Officer of the company, joined Birlasoft August the 21st, 2020.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chandrasekhar Tyagarajan. I'm attending from Bangalore. Thank you.
I now request the Company Secretary to provide general instructions to members regarding participation and e-voting in this meeting.
Thank you, Mrs. Birla. The register of directors and key managerial personnel and their shareholding maintained under Section 170 of the Companies Act 2013, the register of contracts or arrangements in which the directors are interested, maintained under Section 189 of the Companies Act 2013 and the relevant documents referred to in the notice are available on the website of the company for inspection by the members during the AGM. As the AGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxies by the members is not applicable, and hence the proxy register for inspection is not available. The company has received requests from a few members to register them as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open to these members to ask questions or express their views. The moderator will facilitate the session once the chairman opens the floor for questions and answers. It may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions depending on the availability of time at the AGM. The company had provided the facility to cast the votes electronically on all the resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their votes yet through remote e-voting facility and who are participating in this meeting have an opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting through the e-voting system provided by NSDL. Members can click on Vote tab on the video conference screen to avail this feature. Over to the chairman.
Thank you, Sneha. So, dear shareholders, a very warm welcome to all of you at the second annual general meeting of your company. It's a sign of the times that we're living in that we're meeting virtually for what would otherwise have been a good forum for us to engage in face-to-face. I do hope you and your families are safe and healthy as we go through this pandemic. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I thank each one of you for making it convenient to attend this virtual meeting. The annual report for the year ended 31st March 2020 has already been circulated to you, and with your permission, I'd like to take it as read. The last 12 months saw our company complete the first full year of operations as an integrated enterprise. I'm happy to share that we've achieved much of what we set out to do. We've harmonized our structures, policies, and programs, and also successfully completed the challenging task of integrating the management and IT systems. We are now truly one Birlasoft. During this time, we've also focused on strengthening our relationship with our key customers, bolstered by the induction of key leadership talent and an agile, industry-focused structure. Our people development and engagement initiatives have been front and center, as evident in our improved ESAT scores and reduction in net attrition. We signed deals worth a total contract value of $669 million, which is a first for Birlasoft, and we improved cash generation by 129 crores year on year. We closed the year with a 15% year-on-year revenue growth in the last quarter and an improvement in EBITDA by 22% over the previous year. All of this was delivered despite the challenges thrown our way by this pandemic. Not only has COVID-19 disrupted the economy at large, it's also caused unprecedented upset in the lives and livelihood of people across the globe. Now, more than ever, the focus of our company continues to be on the safety and well-being of our employees and customers. We achieved seamless migration to work from home for our employees without disrupting services to any of our clients. And as responsible corporate citizens, we continue to support our government and our nation to help those whose need is the greatest. The well-being of our people and our community will continue to be a priority for us. In every threat lies the seed of opportunity. Despite the headwinds caused by the pandemic, Birlasoft is uniquely poised to capture and capitalize on the new imperatives. Clients are increasingly consolidating their IT spends and deferring non-critical expenditure, but work from home and technologies that enable this will continue to dominate the new normal. We're prepared to leverage this through our focus on cybersecurity, health and safety, collaboration tools, digital omnichannel, and cloud migration. We will also continue to improve revenues through strengthening our ISV OEM channels, cross-selling, and an expanded footprint in Europe and Asia Pacific. All of this while ensuring sound operational rigor to maintain profitability. As we move forward, adaptability and agility will continue to be our key strengths. We will keep investing judiciously in our people for an enhanced employee experience, developing internal talent through best-in-class programs and challenging assignments. And through it all, we will reinforce the foundations for a resilient and successful Birlasoft. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the dedication and contribution of my colleagues in Birlasoft through a year that has been challenging in so many ways. I also thank my colleagues on the board for their guidance and support through these unprecedented times. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I thank all our shareholders, business associates, financial institutions, banks, and respective state and central governments for your continued support, cooperation, and goodwill. I thank each and every one of you for your time and for your belief in Birlasoft. I look forward to meeting you next year, hopefully in person, with more success stories to share. And until then, stay safe and stay well. Thank you. May I now request Dharmender Kapoor to address the members?
Thank you, Mr. Birla. Let me just share the presentation that I've done. I hope you all are able to see the presentation.
Yes, Dick.
Okay. Thank you again, Amita. Good afternoon again to all of you who have joined in the meeting. So very quickly, let me run through the presentation on how your company Birlasoft performed during the year. So a little bit of introduction about the CK Birla Group. As you all are aware that Birlasoft comes from CK Birla Group companies, which is a $2.4 billion group. And there are more than 25,000 employees in the group and about 41 manufacturing facilities across India or across globe and 21 service delivery locations. The CK Birla Group has 3 industry clusters. The technology cluster, from where Birlasoft comes from, the automotive, home and building, and healthcare and education. And these companies are strengthened by shared guiding principles and the 5 core values by which CK Birla Group companies live by. Okay, the highlights for the financial year 20. I'm sure that you'll be very happy to note that today we are one Birlasoft. As you are aware that last year we merged with KPIT Technologies, KPIT's IT business, and we were going through the integration process. We took that integration on priority, and today I can very proudly say that your company is one Birlasoft. We have done the integration of all the policies and the processes across the entire company. At the same time, we have rolled out the industry-aligned organization structure, which was done in the beginning of the year, but over the period, we have stabilized that structure and we have delivered already full year with that new structure. Our major focus was that how do we strengthen the sales capability and that is what was taken on priority, and we transitioned to a business and customer-centric approach, where we created the structure which was very much focused on the customer's business and not just on the technologies. And as we began, we experienced that in the first 2 quarters, there was a marginal degrowth because we went through the integration process. But after that, we gave the industry leading growth in the second half of the financial year. You all are aware that we signed a multi-services deal worth $242 million total contract value with a healthcare major in the US. And that has really provided us a good platform to go and win similar deals in the future as well. And of course, the number of wins for the year was at the record high for Birlasoft, which was at $669 million TCV for the entire financial year. If we look at some of the quantitative aspects of the year, for the H2 or the Q3 and Q4, we delivered much better growth than our industry peers, and we are very proud of that. And the EBITDA grew by 22% year on year, despite having a flat revenue for the financial year. Cash and equivalent grew by 91 crores to rupees 666 crores at the year end. The manpower strength, which we began at 10,268, we finished the year at 10,061 in the month of March. If you look at the DSO, we made some of the impressive progress on really bringing the DSO down. Our DSO in the beginning of the year was at 79 days, which was brought to 72 days, which is at par with the industry requirements. The company became completely debt-free in the Q1 itself. And of course, the free cash flow generation was for 258 crores. If you look at the organization, we kept on our positioning to continue to work towards strengthening our enterprise solutions capability, at the same time making our customers digital by having the strength of their core solutions in the enterprise solutions space. If you look at the key highlights for the financial year, our revenue stood at 3,291 crores, which is $464 million. The EBITDA stood at 392 crores, which is $55.3 million. And the EBITDA margin stood at 11.9%. The profit after tax was at 224 crores, which is $31.6 million at the margin of 6.8%. The headcount, as I mentioned before also, was 10,268, and net cash and cash equivalent at 666 crores or $88.4 million. The net worth for the company was at 1,892 crores or $251 million during the year. So that was the key highlight for the year. Let me also spend a little bit of time in talking about some of the other parameters. Yeah, some of the key metrics, if you look at on our client concentration, it was, if you look at the focus that we had, the focus was that how do we continue to focus on selling to our existing clients and making our relationship far more valuable. So from that perspective, our 27.3% revenue comes from the top 5 customers, 38.1% comes from the top 10 customers, and 50.8% comes from the top 20 customers. That meant that we continued working on strengthening our relationship with our existing customers through cross-selling our multiple services. If you look at the breakup of the geos, Americas is at 79.1%, Europe at 10.6%, and Rest of the world is at 10.3%. If you look at on the vertical side, because we made our structure vertically focused or industry focused, and there were 6 verticals that were created as part of our structure. The automotive stood at 13.4%. Discrete manufacturing and high-tech and media stood at 18.4%. Banking and financial services and insurance at 18.7%. Energy and utilities at 17.8%. CPG, retail and process manufacturing at 12.4%, and life sciences at 19.3%. Whereas if you look at our technology services, our SAP services stood at 17.2%. Our Oracle and related services, which we also call as integrated enterprise solutions, was at 32.6%. The digital transformation at 27.9%. Custom applications at 12.3% and other horizontals at 10.0%. If you look at the overall digital revenue for us across all the horizontals, it stands at 40% during the year, which started at 38% and we grew to 40% during the year. Let me walk you through some of the awards and the recognition during the year, because one of our key focus was that we wanted to go to the market and talk about all our services, and also wanted to get acknowledged by the advisors and the analysts in the market. So we worked very aggressively in order to get our presence felt. If you look at some of the awards and the recognition, we were honored with the ACE Alliance Award for 2019 by SAP for customer excellence. SAP is, as you know, is a very core service for us, and we were given that award. Similarly, on the Oracle side, we won the Oracle Excellence Award for the emerging technologies categories at the Oracle Open World in San Francisco. We were also recognized with the Emerging Technologies Partner of the Year, Financial Year 29, and Supply Chain Cloud Partner by Oracle. We were also recipient of the prestigious Expense Management Partner for the year 2018 at the SAP India Partner Summit. So very clearly you can see that on the enterprise solutions we made our presence felt, and both SAP and Oracle really gave us the recognition for the capability that we bring on the table. We also won the Smart Data Center Management Award in the automation category at the 7th Data Center Summit and Awards. At the same time, as you know that the e-commerce is becoming very prominent in the market because everybody is moving towards digital. SAP awarded us as Partner of the Year in the SAP Hybris America because that is the solution that we take it to the customer and enable their e-commerce platform. At the same time, with the if you look at on the software side or the CSR side, the Confederation of Indian Industry signed an MOU toward the 3rd phase of Shodhan, a crop residual management program, which was initiated by Birlasoft, and we brought in many other companies into the fold and started partnering with CII, and we have been recognized for our contribution to that CSR initiative. We were also recognized with the companies with great managers, and that was the award given to us in the 4th edition of Great Managers Award. We again won the Oracle Excellence Award and the Supply Chain Management Cloud Partner for the year with the Oracle India Partner Forum. So these are some of the awards that are there. We continue to make the progress with the analyst and the advisor so that when we go to the client, there is a clear recognition by our partners also, and we go together to the market to win the business. Okay, as we all know that we are going through the COVID situation, and every single business is getting impacted through this time. If you look at right from the month of the March, we were probably the first company to start working from home. because we recognize the need that this is going to be a global pandemic, and hence we will have to be much better prepared in order to address the situation and also enable our clients very well. And very quickly we shifted our people to work from home, and in the month of March itself, almost 98% of our people were working from home. So that was a very proactive method, and till date we haven't seen any escalation with respect to any disruption in the service that we deliver to our clients. And our priority was very clearly that we continue to help our customers in recovering from the situation during this time. We also ensure that our 100% of people are fully productive and there is a zero disruption to our client business. We have seen that the impact on the business for our clients, and that definitely has impact on the IT industry as well. But we have been able to protect significant amount of impact that will come to Birlasoft, and that I'm sure you will continue to see as we move forward into the next financial year. We very quickly set up in the month of March a war room, which was focused both on the employees as well as on the clients, so that we are able to address the situation very effectively, and we ensure that we take care of our employees and anything to do with their health and safety, and we successfully managed that situation for us. On the people side, of course, we issued the guidelines to our people very quickly, so that we can very clearly explain them the new ways of working. We also provided them the help desk, so that if they need any help, they can reach out to us. We continuously go and meet our employees over the web or over the video conferencing, so that they remain completely engaged and remain completely productive. And we have also ensured that wherever in any of the city, if anybody is impacted due to COVID positive situation, we provide all the guidance and help to them, so that they are able to manage themselves in a much better way. And there are complete counseling sessions that we do with them, and there are self-help resources that we have provided to them. So all in all, I believe that we are doing very well on managing the situation. But of course, we all understand that the impact is there due to this situation, and our objective is to how do we reduce the impact on the business, and we continue to protect our business as well as continue to mitigate any risk that comes our way. The priorities going ahead will continue to remain on the growth, because that we believe is the fundamental need for the business to continue to grow. And hence, very quickly, we have realigned our sales and delivery, so that we continue to reach out to our customers, continue to deliver them effectively. We have improved our annuity revenue. Last year, I did talk about that one of our key focus would be the cross-selling and improving our annuity revenue. And we moved our situation from 51% to 60% during the year. And that contributed to significant predictability of our revenue and profitability for the next financial year. We had to continue to look at that our relationship with the ISVs and OEMs is continuing with all these trends, because after the merger, there can be a change in the focus that can happen, but we wanted to ensure that we have good partnership with SAP, with Oracle, Salesforce.com, ServiceNow, Microsoft, and Amazon. So these are significant partnerships that we have, and these partnerships during the year have only strengthened further, and we can continue to see that this is providing us good growth momentum in the coming year also. We want to continue to remain as a dependable partner to our customers, and we continue to engage with them. That can be clearly seen from the various parameters that we continue to track. And I assure you that this is one focus area that each and every employee of the organization is focused on. And of course, last but not the least, or I would say that actually the most important thing is the operational rigor, because we had to continue to improve our profitability, which we did in every quarter in the previous year, despite having the flat revenue. And this was only because we provided the operational rigor. And today, we can very confidently say that we are improving our profitability and the operational rigor in a very nicer way. With that, I would like to thank all of you once again for joining, and all the best, and would wish good health and safety for all of you. Thank you, and back to you, Mrs. Birla. Amita, you are on mute.
Thank you. I request the company secretary to read the observations, if any, of the auditor's report and secretarial audit report now.
Thank you, ma'am. The statutory auditor, BSR and Company, LLP Chartered Accountants, and secretarial auditor, Dr. K.R. Chandratre, practicing company secretary, in their respective audit reports for the financial year 2019-20, have expressed unqualified opinions. There were no observations, qualifications, or adverse remarks on the financial statements and matters which have any material bearing on the functioning of the company. I now request Chairman to take over and conduct the items as per agenda.
To the 29th annual report of the company has already been circulated, and we take the notice of the 29th annual general meeting and the board's report, along with the annexures, as read. We now take up the resolutions as set forth in the notice, and we will open the floor for any questions by members after all the resolutions are tabled. In ordinary business, item number 1, adoption of the audited financial statements standalone together with the report of the auditor and the report of the board of directors. Item number 2, the adoption of audited financial statements consolidated together with the report of the auditors. Item number 3, confirmation of the interim dividend and declaration of final dividend for the financial year, March 31st, 2020. Ashok, may I ask you to take the next item?
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I would now take up item number 4 of the ensuing annual general meeting, which relates to the reappointment of Mr. Chandrakant Birla as a director liable to retire by rotation. The resolution reads to appoint a director in place of Mr. Chandrakant Birla, who retires by rotation and, being eligible, offers himself for reappointment. Thank you, Chairperson, and over to you.
Special business, item number 5. Approval of requests received from certain shareholders for reclassification of their shareholding from promoter and promoter group category to public category. Item number 6, adoption of a new set of memorandum of association. Item number 7, approval of the waiver of recovery of excess remuneration. The text of the special businesses, along with the explanatory statement, is provided in the notice circulated to the members. I now hand over to Sneha.
I now request members who have registered as speakers to ask their questions and give their opinions and suggestions, if any. And kindly introduce yourselves by giving full name and folio number or DPID, client ID before speaking. Each speaker member is provided 3 minutes to ask their questions, and they are requested to kindly keep their video on and mic on unmute. If any speaker member is facing technical issues, we will now move to the next registered speaker. To avoid repetition, the questions will be addressed at the end. Once you have asked your question, you can log off and continue to watch the proceedings. I now call upon the moderator to take the questions from the members.
Thank you, Sneha. And so the first question is from the line of Mr. Shashikant Marathe. Mr. Shashikant Marathe, you are now have been unmuted and placed in the meeting. You can now start your video and ask your question, please.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Respected Chairperson, I am Shashikant Marathe. joining from Pune. Madam, good afternoon to you all and all those who joined this virtual meeting. We did listen to your speech last year on video. Hope next year things will improve and we will get an opportunity to see you personally and converse at the next meeting of the company. I am quite happy to note a very good progress in the second year from implementation of the scheme of arrangements. Many companies take a lot of years to have smoothness handing over and also getting into the company's strategy in you have done it in very short time. Good. Congratulations for having captured various awards. The list is quite big, and I wish that you keep it up so that the name of the Birla goes all over the world. You have improved top and bottom line for continuing operations. The EPS rose by 16 paise. Well begun is half done. Hope it will be in two digits by 2025. Good. We are a debt-free company now. The results do bring out a fact that the work of the company did not suffer much due to lockdown. Our MD has stated that he took the preventive measures and started asking people to work from home. And in March itself, you were quite lucky than others and did the work without any disruptions. You gave us good dividends and we are thankful to you. The stock exchanges also note our pulse and in view of good beginning, the rise in the stock price during July 20 is impressive. It is now in three digits. A smart rise over 100 points in the last 6 months. A very good achievement, madam. We would like to know total budget for capital in 2021, including of capital work in progress in 1920 of 23.5 million, and also disclose for what it is and its effect on the top line in 2021. Why nil non-current investments in 1920? Further, it is observed that the current investment were less by 1578 million. We must invest more to get a cutting edge over company. In view of the ease in credit terms, it is possible to get loans at competitive rates. CFO to control finance costs. Receivables and closing cash both rose year on year. Have prudent cash management. We ought to have recovered smartly as there was no lockdown for 11 months of 1928. However, be vigilant on reducing receivables in 2021 in view of the fact that the lockdown will be partially effective throughout 2020. I wish the management to show enhanced progress on all the key financial matters in the coming year. Madam, you are lucky. Your all managers have been awarded good manager. It's a good spirit. You are having a good team. I appreciate your team and envy your performance because with the good managers, you are bound to give good report. How many of our employees work on site and how many from home? You are told 98% are working. But will this continue? If it continues, the psychological problems are to be addressed properly. Please address their problems. Anyone doing work from home may have certain problems. We should do it quite all right. Your employee cost has increased, but it is quite much because they are all our valuable assets. Madam, with these few words, I wish you that you will turn a better results in the year to come, and we look forward for good results from you. Thank you, madam.
Sneha, moderator, there are more questions?
Yes, so I'll take the next speaker, please. One second. So the next speaker is Mr. Naveen Botra. Mr. Navinji, you have now been unmuted and placed in the meeting. You can now start your video and ask your question, please.
My folio number is 302-105 10444774. Greetings to respected Chairperson Amita Birla Madam ji, Shri C.K. Birla ji, our MD and CEO Mr. Dharmender Kapoor, TK as he is popularly known, and all the distinguished board members and management team of Birlasoft. I very much appreciate the efforts of our IR team led by Mr. Vikas Yadav and Company Secretary Sneha Madam for coordinating this smooth registration and participation in this virtual AGM. I appreciate it very much. It's great pleasure attending the AGM. I also attended the earlier 2018 AGM of KPIT. We are all praised for CK Birla Group Company corporate governance practices and its highly successful innovation-led sustainable growth strategy, be it organic or inorganic, which is creating wealth for all the shareholders. Our group is looking all the time for the growth strategies. So we like it very much, and as investors, we are very much comfortable with the group and continuously investing more and more money into all the group companies. I congratulate the team for excellent set of numbers in the last financial year as well as in this quarter also, even in these challenging times, producing good set of operating profits. We have also recently tied up with Microsoft and other leading companies for our acceleration in the digital solutions to our customers. We appreciate the resilience and agility of our team, Birlasoft team, in these challenging times of COVID. I have some observation and points which I would like the management like to clarify, which will help us. My first observation is regarding the dividend distribution policy. Our dividend distribution policy presently going on is as approved by the erstwhile management of KPIT Technology in the October 2016. So it will be now, as all the formalities of KPIT's IT shareholding and nominated board members process is also through fully. We would like that our company's board should adopt a comprehensive dividend distribution policy, not only dividend distribution policy, but comprehensive capital allocation policy, which also includes dividend distribution policy as well as specific budgets for R&D expenses or emerging new technologies like edge computing, AI, IoT, machine learning, and blockchain, which are going to be in the 5G era, going to be very much in the focus. So we should also increase our R&D expenses in the new technologies, also keep in that overall capital allocation policy, as also some other inorganic opportunities to accelerate our growth going ahead. So that will be the adoption of capital allocation policy will be highly appreciated by the investor community. That is my first point. Second is regarding the organic and inorganic growth opportunity. As I already spoken, we have already successfully integrated the KPIT's IT services division, and it's behind us, and the success is already showing in our results and all the operational performance, as Mr. TK has already told plus. We are seeing it in the company's overall market cap and all these things. So what will be the management's medium-term outlook on growth to inorganic acquisitions? Are we going to do some adjacent acquisitions because we are having good cash balances? So this thing will help us in it. And as the in con calls and all these things, our management is saying that we may look forward in the coming 2-3 quarters also for the buyback and also. So your views will complement all these things. And the third thing is which we all investors would like to know, as we are a traditional application development and maintenance player. Yes, we are already migrating to full-fledged IT and digital services. What further steps management is going to take to evolve our company Birlasoft into full-fledged IT and digital services player, as like all the big players, big five players, Tech Mahindra and Wipro, Infosys, TCS, like. So, what is our policy and outlook in the coming 5 years to achieve at least $1 billion? That must be the ambition of the management. So we would like to hear your valued views. To conclude, I wish all the very best to Team Birlasoft for its future endeavors, and I propose a vote of thanks to board. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, Navinji. I'll just take the next participant. The next question is from Mr. Baidik Sarkar. So Baidik, you have now been unmuted and placed in the meeting. Now start your video and ask your question, please.
Sure. Thank you very much. Hello and good afternoon, members of the board, and thank you very much for the opportunity. I trust all of you doing well. Birlasoft has been through 2 years of consolidation in terms of very successful merger and post-merger activities. And as things stand today, the company is on course to performing very well across operational as well as financial metrics. Keeping that in perspective and also keeping in perspective the large build-up of liquidity that Birlasoft has experienced over the past few years, it is now imperative for the board to reflect and execute on a firm plan of capital redistribution back to shareholders. Of course, this will also make sure that the company's capital efficiency, which is coming off a very low base, will be corrected and addressed from a structural perspective. I'd like to hear the chairperson's and the board's view on this, and importantly, how it seeks to quantify in absolute terms the extent of capital redistribution back to shareholders, along with specific timelines. Just to clarify, I speak on behalf of myself and shareholders who beneficially own about 1% of the outstanding equity of Birlasoft. Thank you very much once again, and that's it.
Thanks, Vaidik, for your question. Let me take the last kind of speaker. So the next question, probably this is the last one, is from, so the next question is from Ms. Vasudha. Ms. Vasudha, you have been unmuted and you can ask your question, please. Ms. Vasudha, you have now been unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead with your question. You can start your video and go ahead with your question. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to congratulate Company Secretary and his team for sending the soft copy of the report well in advance, which is a clear and transparent pictures. I would like to ask, what is the impact of COVID-19 on our current employees? Second one, I also like to congratulate our company becomes a debt-free from this year. Secondly, I want to know who are our main competitors. With this, I support all the resolutions and wish the company best luck for the coming years. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So that's our pretty much all the questions we had. So over to you, Mr. Birla.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your questions. Mr. Marathe, I'll take your questions first, if I may. I'll take your questions first. You asked about the total budget for capital. Our capex is around $7.5 million. The question also was around nil non-current investments and less current investment. Investment in our subsidiaries has been $48.6 million. They didn't need any further investment in the year 1920. And on the less amount of current investment, we moved our funds out of liquid mutual funds into fixed deposits in banks to avoid market volatility at this time. You had a question around the ease in credit terms and the possibility of getting loans. We don't need any loans because the company has a 108 million in the bank. As our CFO is, of course, controlling the financial costs. There was a question around receivables. Yes, we're monitoring the receivables closely, and the DSO has come down from 72 days to 60 days by the end of June. Our employees, you asked for, about 98% are working from home. We do already have multiple wellness programs for our employees, and they are being amply and well taken care of. Mr. Bothra, your questions. The first question was around the dividend distribution policy. Yes, we are following the CK Birla's Group philosophy on dividend distribution, on organic growth, organic and inorganic growth. We're always looking at growth opportunities, and we're going to make strategic decisions at the appropriate time. With regard to growth and investment in growth, we always invest about 85 to 90% on established technologies and spend about 10 to 15% investment in emerging technologies. Our strategy towards becoming a fully fledged IT digital player, we already are. Our digital revenues stand at more than 40%. Our revenue from ERP and transformation programs stands at about another 35 to 40%. Our efforts have been to have a very balanced revenue quality, and we have achieved significant progress in this direction. Birlasoft is known as an enterprise solutions and digital transformation enterprise, and not support and maintenance. Mr. Vaidik Sarkar, you had a question around a suggestion around reutilization of cash reserves. We'll be evaluating all possible initiatives which will help the company to enhance its stakeholder wealth. And Ms. Vasudha Takve, our main competitors are Mindtree, NIIT, Hexaware, Zensar. And our impact on our current employees. As I said, 98% are working from home right now. There has been no significant impact on our current employees. Our customers are happy with the way that they're working from home, and our employees have been enabled from a technology standpoint and from a wellness standpoint. So they were very well taken care of. And thank you all for your very good wishes for the company. And I thank you on behalf of the board.
Thank you, Chairman. I think all the questions are answered. If any question remains unaddressed, we will provide the answers over email. As per the requirements of the Companies Act 2013 and the SEBI LODR Regulations 2015 and MCA circulars, we have provided to all the members holding shares as on the cutoff date, that is August 19, 2020, the facility to exercise their right to vote on resolutions as set out from item numbers 1 to 7 of the notice of the 29th Annual General Meeting by electronic means through remote e-voting platform provided by NSDL. The remote e-voting facility was made available to the members from Friday, August 21, 2020, 9 a.m. IST to Tuesday, August 25, 2020 5 p.m. IST. In accordance with sections 107 and 109 of the Companies Act 2013, MCA circulars and SEBI circulars, we have also provided electronic voting, that is AGM e-voting, to all the members holding shares as on the cutoff date, that is August 19, 2020. The facility to exercise their right to vote on resolutions as set out from item numbers 1 to 7 of the notice of the 29th Annual General Meeting during the meeting through NSDL. The members attending the meeting who have not cast their vote by remote e-voting can cast their vote through AGM e-voting. The Board of Directors has appointed Mr. Jayant Bhave of JB Bhave and Company, Company Secretaries, as the scrutinizers to supervise the e-voting process. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. I now hand over to the chairman.
Thank you, Sneha. Members may note that the voting on the NSDL platform will continue to be available for the next 15 minutes, and therefore members who have not cast their vote yet are requested to do so. I request Mr. Bhave, scrutinizer for the remote e-voting and AGM e-voting, to scrutinize all the votes and submit his report within 48 hours of conclusion of this meeting. With your permission, I request the company secretary of the company to receive the scrutinizer report and related documents and declare the result and submit the same to the stock exchanges. Thank you, everyone. And over to Mr. Tyagarajan for giving a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Birla. On behalf of the Board of the Directors, I thank all of our stakeholders, i.e. our members, customers, bankers, suppliers, for giving their continued support. I wish to place on record our appreciation for the committed and efficient services rendered by all of our employees and their tremendous will and passion to change with the times. As a reminder, the voting lines are still open and they'll remain open for another 15 minutes. And I request our esteemed shareholders to stay on the line and cast their vote. Thank you all for attending the meeting. I hereby declare the proceedings closed. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you next year. Thank you.
So the directors can log off now. I request all the shareholders to remain logged in as we require them for the quorum. The AGM e-voting time is over. I hereby declare the proceedings as closed. Thank you everybody for joining in.
Sir, you can end the meeting from your end.
Just end, huh?
Yes.